Okay, John, you ready to join us?
Sure, Professor.
You got ready for your question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's your question. How does the distribution of percent change in spending compare between the states that spent less than 10,000 and those that spent greater than 10,000?
Well, a good way to answer that question is to split the scatter plots into two different groups, states that have less than $10,000 per pupil spending and states that have more than $10,000 per pupil spending. And we're going to make a box and whisker chart for each of the group. And then we're going to compare the two distributions side by side.
Sounds good.
So let's start with the states with less than $10,000 per pupil spending. If we look at the contingency table, we can identify that there are 24 states with less than $10,000 per pupil spending. So first, let's locate the min and max. The min looks like it's at 12 minus 12, and the max looks like it's at the 1-ish. Okay. Now let's locate the quartiles. Since it has 24 observations, the first quartile will be between the 6th and 7th observation points starting from downwards. So it's around minus 10. The second quartile, or the median, this is going to be between the 12th and 13th point. So it's around minus 9-ish. And the third quartile is going to be between the 18th and 19th observation point. So counting that, it's around here, around negative 6-ish. So there's the box. Now, the interquartile range is around 4. So let's create the upper and downward fence using the interquartile range. If we multiply 4 by 1.5, we get 6. And if we add that to the third quartile, which is minus 6, we get an upper fence of 0, or around 0. So we have a clear upper outlier with upper whisker being around 0. Now, if we subtract 6 from the first quartile, we get around minus 16, which means that the lower whisker is going to be around the minimum point, and there is no downward outlier. Doing the same procedure to the states with more than $10,000 PPS, we get minimum point around minus 9. First quartile around minus 5. Okay. Second quartile around minus 1. And the third quartile around 3. So the interquartile range here is around 9. If we multiply that by 1.5, we get 13.5. Adding that to the third quartile and subtracting that to the first quartile, the upper and lower fence is way above and below the min and max points. So the whisker is going to be at the min and max points, which is 7.7-ish and minus 9-ish. Okay, so going back to your question, the distribution of income expenditure increase among states is way lower for states with less than $10,000 per pupil spending.
Great job.